Somebody call a doctor because bad medicine is back. Over there is Diamond Dave Damone. This is the Appleton Oak. That's the answer. I'm Mason Quinn. Folks, today I'm very excited because we are starting a brand new series that many of you recommended. This is The Glory. Of course, season 1, episode 1. I have no idea what to expect. Literally showed up at the studio and found out that this is what we're doing. So just have the little info on the Netflix screen here as far as what's going on with high school and whatnot. So hey, I'm here for it. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, I heard it was highly recommended. Know nothing about it, but definitely ready, willing, and able to watch it because you guys, you're batting like 950. You're crushing it.
He said they're batting 950. Well, you know what? The Oak says you guys are batting 1,000. So I'm here.
He says that, but then he forgets Saltburn, which
Yes,
it's in the reaction too, where he's like, "Why do they pick us to watch this?" Blah blah.
I enjoyed Saltburn. As a wholesome.
It's on the tape.
Movie.
Yo, check the tape. Check the tape. I have no idea what we're getting into. I know a lot of you said we aren't ready for it, but here we are, and I think I'm ready for at least episode 1. Let's go!
wow,
There's the city.
nice view.
Oh, we're getting out of the city. Or no, we're going in.
Going into the city.
These guys.
Guys, I didn't.
Me and Answer knew what was going on.
Oh, that's a cool view.
Oh, large version of what game is that?
Damn it, I'm getting all of us are dead vibes now.
Oh, roundabouts.
I don't know why we, in most areas, have stop signs when we just have a roundabout.
Love roundabouts. Highly efficient.
If they're driven correctly,
Help.
if you're behind a pawpaw. F and go.
I almost swapped some door paint today with somebody in a roundabout who was not familiar that you have to stay in your own lane during navigation.
Oh, I like the layout of those buildings.
Yeah, some cool architecture.
It's interesting that we have obviously a show that's outside of or made outside of the States, but using a. That was weird, dude. Surround sound in the headphones. It's like way behind you.
하늘을 향해 나팔을 불어서 악마의 나팔꽃. 신이 보기 건방지다나. 그래서 그런지 그 꽃은 밤에만 향기가 나요. 독이 화분은 깨서 버려야 해서.
Oh, okay. Whoa, what a montage. Oh. Wow.
What was that?
혹시 기억하니? 내가
Oh.
여름을 아주 싫어했던 거. 다행히 더 더워지기 전에 이사를 했어. 어제부터 사진을 정리 중인데.
Oh.
이건 다 뭐야? 재준이, 사라. 이건 다 우리고. 근데 너 누구더라?
나야 연진아. 나. 넌 진짜 옛날 그대로다.
Oh no, is this gonna be revenge?
남의 집에 들어올 땐 신발은 벗어야지.
Yep. Oh, with the stapler.
Oh, is she gonna do it?
힘 닿는 데까지 널 한번 죽여보려고. 그러니까 빨리 와 연진아. 난 다 도착했거든.
Ooh.
네가 오는 동안 내가 어떻게 여기까지 왔는지 얘기해줄까?
적당히 흥방할 테니까 걱정하지 말고.
Okay, going back to 2004.
박인재,
18 years ago.
네?
It
친구를
all
왜 괴롭혀?
started.
다시 또 이런 일로 오기만 해. 엄마 다 왔다니까 가봐.
친구 아닌데. 근데 아저씨, 우리 엄마랑은 정확하게 무슨 사이예요?
중학교 때 친구야.
between you and my mom.
그래서 엄마 이혼할 때도 도와주신 거구나? 우리 아빠 바람 피운 친구도 착착 모아주고. 난 또 우리 엄마랑 잤는 줄.
What else have we seen him in? He was in
어떻게 오셨습니까?
문동은 보호자입니다. 담임입니다. 야, 교복 쳐입고 경찰서로 와? 친구끼리 장난 좀 친 거 가지고 신고를 해? 그 전화를 교감이
A little prank. Look at her.
좀 이따 봐. 일어나, 빨리 가.
So the dad's yelling at her for it?
저 일주일 고아예요. 엄마 아빠 왜 쿡 하셔서요? 골프요.
그래? 그럼 녀석을 전화를 하지 그랬어. 야, 이놈도요. 예, 왜 남아있나 했다. 왜? 밥은 어떻게 먹어?
굶어 있어요.
Oh, Jesus, what the f...
중요한 날이라고 했지? 엄마, 오늘 너한테 너무 실망이야.
경찰서까지 갈 줄 알았나?
그 부분이 실망이야. 없는 애 하나 어떻게 못해서.
Whoa.
이거 재준이랑만 놀라니까 심심하면 살아 껴서. 고살님이 이름에 이응 들어간 애들은 살이 끼니까 피하라고 했어. 손명호, 최정, 걔들 말이야. 걔들! 들어와. 늦었어.
I caught who that principal is. I'm going to see how long it takes you guys. If they show him again. It's big. It's very big.
We'll keep you posted, Oak.
Well, you guys, we'll see.
Or not.
Ah,
Wait, did she?
what kind of dance
Was
is
that
this?
That was okay. That wasn't
no
an actual. It was just symbolizing it.
symbolizing. Yeah.
She's back there texting on that razor.
Nope, playing a game.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, 04. They wouldn't have even had texting back then.
Before they had texting.
Did they in 04?
Yeah.
Yeah. I had a flip phone. An LG.
날이면 날마다 오는 문동은이 왔어요.
Oh no.
Oh,
Oh no.
Why is she there?
그동안 괴롭혀서 미안. 사과하려고.
Oh boy.
그렇다고 뭐 경찰서까지 가고 그러냐? 쫄리게. 그래서 말인데 동은아. 이제부터 네가 고데기 열 체크 좀 해줄래?
Oh, no.
That's how she got all the scars all over her body. Sort of curling iron.
딱 좀한 거 가지고 뭘 또 범죄래.
Oh my god.
Oh.
뜨거운지 아닌지 뭐 봐달라니까?
Oh,
Oh,
what the? Oh, my God.
됐나 보다. 나가?
누가 도와주세요. 제발 누가 좀 도와주세요. 힘 빼지 마. 백날 소리 질러도 아무도 몰라. 아무도 안 와. 최욱이 아예 우리한테 키를 줬네?
Oh.
Oh.
너 여인 속에서 산다며? 나 너 때문에 달빵이라는 말 처음 알았잖아. 달빵은 다리 뜨는 방인가?
동화 속에 사네, 운동은?
아, 운동은 내 요정 할머니인가 봐. 나 머리하라고 온도 체크도 해주고. 그치?
Oh, man. They're going to do her whole body.
Oh, it's
Yeah, we saw the end result.
Yeah.
I can't believe this.
넌
Jesus, we're only
시끄럽게.
12 minutes in.
Oh,
my god.
Jesus.
Come on.
What the hell is that?
Some sort of drug patch or something.
Jesus.
과산화수소수?
주시면 제가 할게요. 블라우스에 뭐가 묻어서요.
뭐가 묻었는데? 혹시 피니?
그냥 과산화수소수만 주세요.
Oh, God.
담임 선생님께 말씀드렸어? 전에도 본 적 있어서 그래. 혼자 힘들면 선생님이 같이 말해줄게. 응? 누구야? 엄마. 내가 다시 갈게.
Oh.
전에도 제가요.
She just admitted it to the nurse?
She's somebody.
So she said mom.
그거 아니, 연진아? 네 딸은 거꾸로 보는 세상을 좋아하는 거. 세상이 거꾸로인 순간엔 모든 색이 헷갈려도 이해받기 때문일까?
누가요? 똑같아요. 우리 엄마.
너구나, 박연진 딸.
하해솔.
우리 엄마 아세요?
Yeah.
단 하루도 잊어본 적이 없어.
Oh boy.
어떤 증오는 그리움을 닮아서 멈출 수가 없거든.
증오? 몰라요. 뭐예요?
증오가 뭐냐고?
Oh no. This is where she lives.
Yeah, the
Remember every
hotel.
full moon.
Was not expecting to be this enraged this early into
No.
the first episode
Honestly,
of season.
it just makes me sick to my stomach.
The only season.
왜? 세게?
Oh, what the?
신나면 더 까매지던 눈동자.
왜 이렇게 늦게 와? 보고 싶어 죽는 줄.
웃을 때 올라가던 입꼬리.
Oh.
I can't believe this. This poor girl.
스케치 좀 되는데?
진짜? 존나 슬퍼. 멍은 너 너무 알뜰이야.
뭘 처먹은 거야? 한 콜이야 본드야.
Oh, what a...
너네 돈 많잖아. 이거 필요 없잖아. 부탁이야. 제발 돌려줘, 연진아. 이제 좀 공손해졌네, 문동은. 그래. 그럼 줄게. 대신 우리 술 마실 동안 춤춰봐. 그럼 이 돈은 안 건들게. 어때? 뭐? 춤추라고.
Oh.
음주 가무에 음주만 있고 가무가 없잖아.
It's just evil.
정 싫으면 다른 선택지도 있기는 있어?
Oh.
What is with this chick?
넌 지금 되게 엉망진창이야. 근데 자존심을 세우잖아? 그럼 너 되게 엉망진창이 된다? 그러니까 춤추라고. 수치스럽게. 아, 싫어할 수 없고. 근데 오늘 보니까 문동우는 다리도 예쁘네.
Oh no.
선곡은 내가 한다. 나 벨소리 존나 많아.
Oh my god.
Unbelievable, dude. I'm kind of at a loss for words.
No,
Oh, now she's wearing
sweatpants.
sweats. Yeah.
Resignation, yeah.
Yep.
Oh.
And this, yep, she thought about it. Or is thinking about it, I should say. I mean, the trauma this girl's gone through in, what, a day that we've been
Yeah.
this character? I mean, look at her calves.
Yeah, she has nobody else. Nobody else that'll believe her anyway.
Well,
Or fight
they
for
believe
her.
her. They won't fight for her because
Yeah.
it must be of how powerful that girl's mom is. Oh.
Ugh.
God, that has to hurt so much.
It's not even because of snow, because like it's not like clean snow either. There's like rocks and stuff.
Yeah.
Or it might feel right. It's just the hands when it. Oh, that looks
Oh,
fresh.
on the shoulder.
That looks fresh. Holy shit.
Wow.
Is this shit that bad over there that they even put this in a television show?
A lot of folks that have watched
Is it that bad over there that they like this is I can't even comprehend even putting this in a show. Like how could something like this even go on a show and have people watch it and be like that could never happen because something's got to be weird to some kind of
some
reality.
level of truth.
Because dude, All of Us Are Dead was really bad too.
Yeah.
And a lot of folks in there said that
Does this
that
shit happen?
happens.
Apparently.
Well, we're gonna have to lean on the folks to tell us.
야! 전재준! 박연진! 와봐봐.
야, 이 미친년아! 자퇴를 하려면 곱게 해. 넌 잘못한 게 없어?
어.
단 하나도 없어? 이 정도면 너도 문제 있는 거야. 이제 와서 자퇴를 안 바꿔?
It's
Wow.
Yeah, and the parents, I don't know what it is. It'll just bringing shame on the family or whatever.
교장실까지
It
올라가면
might be some
김 선생님 근무 평가에 문제 생길 텐데.
Your work evaluation.
너 이거 뭐야? 자퇴 사유 이거 뭐냐고?
학교 폭력이요. 가해자는 박연진, 이사라, 전재준, 최혜정, 손명호. 그리고 선생님은 방관하셨고.
입 안 다물어 이게.
Oh.
지금 사지 멀쩡해가지고 잘도 돌아다니는데 뭐가 폭력이야?
Wow.
친구끼리 한 대 때리고 그럴 수도 있는 거고.
그 한 대는 왜 때려도 되는데요?
뭐?
선생님 아들 교대 붙었다고 자랑했었죠. 그럼 선생님 아들도 친구들한테 한 대 맞아도 괜찮으시겠어요?
Oh.
이게 점잖게 대주니까 네가 아주 참. 내 아들이
Oh.
뭐가? 언제? 뭐라고? 뭐라고? 일어나! 선생님 말고 야! 뭐라고? 선생님!
Wow, what the?
이거 아주 만만해 좀. 야! 선생님 아이 비켜와요!
Is nobody gonna stop this?
일어나!
Nobody does a thing. Yeah, it's every mother in that room is just as disgusting as he is. Every single person.
그래.
잠깐만. 아유. 네, 여보세요? 네,
Let me guess, this is
내가
mom.
걔 엄마인데
Yeah.
맞으세요?
That must be the other mom.
Well, that's
a
powerful.
여보세요,
mom.
어머니.
Yep, there's a check to make it go away. Pay him off.
Pay off the parents and not even.
거기 이름 쓰시고 그 내용도 새로 써주시면 됩니다.
내용이요?
아유 짧아요. 부적응.
뭐 놓고 갔니? 너 혹시 몰랐어?
She
니네 엄마
got
아침에 밥
evicted.
뺐어.
Yeah.
That was part of that.
Part of the deal.
연락 오겠지. 엄만데.
Yeah,
She's totally left alone. Oh, she's seeing it.
And she's not gonna see one thing from it.
So it wasn't for violence, it was for maladjustment.
Well, they can't put that on there during settlement, right? Because then it's legally documented,
Right.
and then it could come back to haunt them. And
Yep.
protection, Quinn.
All the time's passing.
약국은 9시에 열고 한강은 20분만 걸으면 된다. 물은 차가울 거고 그럼 다 편해질 거야. 더는 가렵지 않을 거야. 그게 어디야? 이게 맞을 거야.
She has to live with that forever. And no one helped her.
No.
야 어디가? 술 사러? 최정 시켜. 술이면 내가 갔지. 새벽 예배. 아씨 꼰대가 당장 안 오면 작업실 없애버린대 씨발. 수능 특별 예배라고 너네까지 데리고 오라는 거 내가 간신히 말렸다.
야, 다신 너 안 찾게 해줘? 너 인기 몇 개 있어?
Mason Quinn has about
Oh,
600.
many.
야 병란아 언제까지 올 거야? 밤샐래?
지금 짜지마 이 씨발려나.
Is this a new
Oh,
one?
somebody else gonna get it now?
Calm.
So they just picked somebody else.
Yeah.
쟤 뭐해?
What is she gonna do?
돌았네? 지발로 여기라 써.
와, 운동은
Do something.
보고 싶어 죽는 줄. 너 말도 없이 자퇴했더라.
너 꿈 말이야. 싸이월드에 써있는 거. 현모양처. 그거 진짜야?
진짜? 너 그렇게 써놨어?
Oh, I think I know where this is going.
꿈은 너네가 갖는 거지. 너나 얘나 제가. 난 너네가 꿈 이루면 돈 주고 부리는 거고 꿈이 아니라 직업이 필요하지. 적당히 안 짜치는 그런 직업. 그리고 가장 어리고 예쁠 때 결혼을 하겠지? 조건 좋은 남자를 골라서? 뭐 아이는 한두 명? 그리고 오래오래 행복하게 살겠지.
That's why she's at the playground with her kid.
넌 꿈이 뭔데?
너. 오늘부터 내 꿈은 너야. 우리 꼭 또 보자, 박연진.
Wow. The level of acting right there with her.
Okay, so two-year jump.
Her whole life is just about revenge now.
Boy, I can't wait till we get caught up to the present now.
Yeah, well,
I mean, I
on
want
the
to take in the
playground.
story. I'm not trying to
Well,
rush
we,
it.
Yeah.
but
and
I
we
just-
saw the cut to the face.
Yeah.
She's still teaching herself while on the
Yeah.
job, too.
꼴값 떨지 말고 맞춰?
살살 하세요. 예판이랑 다리에 담배빵 장난 아니에요.
오빠는
Hey, I'm not gonna lie, I'm proud of her for all the abuse and torture she's been getting, even from that dickhead right there.
Well,
She just keeps
GED.
trucking. She just keeps trucking.
Yeah.
Sooner GED right
Well, I mean, it's something
Past.
where you get treated like that. You either go one way or it absolutely becomes your sole life's focus. And I think that's what's going to
And
happen.
we saw how it almost went a terrible way a couple
Yeah.
times.
Yep.
She definitely thought about it, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's another fall. Yeah, she's falling asleep while studying.
눈물이 마를 때쯤에 너의 맘엔 미움만 간다. 네가 아주 행복했으면 좋겠어.
Am I being quiet for him?
Yeah, not distracting at all. Just so she can do her thing.
슬픈 눈물 고통이 너의 웃음이 사실 난 행복을 잘
Yep, one day just gone.
네가 아주 행복했으면
방해하려는 건 아니고요, 언니.
대신 내가
저는 20살이 구성인데요. 언니 이번 달 말에 공장 그만두신다면서요. 그만두시기 전에 그냥 말 한번 걸어보고 싶어가지고.
나도요. 고마웠어요.
뭐가요?
까치발려.
Ah, she noticed.
아무튼 축하해요, 언니. 언니 대학 합격했다고 그러던데. 좋겠어요, 언니는. 대학 가면 미팅도 하고 남친도 생기고.
그쪽은 아닌데 꼭 가야 할 곳이 있어서 가는 거예요.
꼭 가야 할 곳이 어딘데요? 삼성요? 와, 현대요?
Not quite.
Hyundai.
진짜였어, 연진아. 그날부터 내 꿈은 오직 너였어. 차가운 거 주시고 커피 제일 진한 거 주세요.
That's what I would be telling it.
음료는 픽업대에서 받으세요. 뒤에 분 주문 도와드릴게요.
저희 하나랑 따뜻한 모카라떼 하나요. 라떼는 휘핑크림 왕창, 초코드리즐 아낌없이 뿌려주시고요. 계산은 각자 하고 쿠폰은 제 거에 둘 다 찍어주시면 감사하겠습니다.
그럴 줄
Oh,
알고
jeez.
난 지갑을 안 들고 왔지.
음료는 픽업대에서 받으세요.
That's you. He'll pay. I'll take the stamps.
여전히 쿠폰만 태산 드세요. 쿠폰 와서 어떻게 태산이 됩니까? 좀 도와주세요. 이럴 때만 형이지. 맨날 사달래. 형으로서 좀 형 노릇 한 번은 해라. 알았어. 쿠폰만 태산.
The tiniest bit of levity that we get in this episode right there.
Yeah, they're not giving us much levity.
매일 생각했어, 연진아. 난 너를 어디서 제외해야 할까? 아무리 생각해도 거기뿐이라. 60제곱미터의 나만의 체육관 말이야.
우와, 꼭 동화 같아요.
난 아주 말캉하고 뽀얀 네가 제일 아끼는 고데기를 들 거야.
내 얘기가 동화 같아?
네. 근데 우리
오,
엄마가
와우.
주인공이 아니어서 좀.
왜 아닌 것 같은데?
우리 엄마는 부자니까요. 주인공들은 원래 다 가난하니까.
아니야, 틀렸어. 이 이야기는 내 소리 엄마가 주인공이야.
Oh my god.
이 이야기는 동화가 아니라 오화거든.
가시거리가 1km 이하인 짙은 안개를 녹무라고 하죠. 비행기의 순항을 망치는 건 태풍이나 낙뢰가 아닌 바로 안개라는 사실 알고 계십니까?
사람이 만약 그 이웃을 사과했으면
사고 발생 건수는 맑은 날이 가장 많지만 취사율은 안개 낀 날이 가장 높다고 합니다. 모두 안개에 조심하시길 바랍니다. 박윤진이었습니다.
눈에는 눈으로, 이에는 이로, 파상은 파상으로. 때린 것은 때림으로 갚을지니.
Everybody.
글쎄, 그건 너무 페어플레이 같은데요, 여러분.
The windows too?
Yeah.
Holy.
Okay, I take back everything I just said in the intro about being ready.
No.
Nope. Not ready.
Not ready for that.
Not ready. And dude, I mean, this is some deep, deep shit that they started off here. And I know I like to say I like my dark shit here, but I was not expecting this kind of darkness.
Well, no.
The first episode.
I mean, burning somebody with a curling iron over and over and just torturing them every day. And we're setting up, if I could, kind of separate here for a minute, we're setting up a revenge tale of sorts and how it's going to play out. At first, I was trying to make sure that I was getting all the characters here and what the relationships were and everything. And I got to ask you guys, when she was with, the daughter in the playground, it sounded like she was saying, a hot curling iron is what she was going to do. And I was thinking she was going to do that to her daughter. And I'm glad that didn't happen. But again, I don't know if it was a thing with the translation, with the subtitles, or me not catching it, because the subtitles are a little bit quick on this show to kind of get the hang of it. But I also wanted to, so I'm glad that didn't happen. It seems like her obsession is for the ones who bullied her, not somebody who's going to be essentially collateral damage. So I was a little worried there where that was going to go, because that would obviously be incredibly uncomfortable to watch, as if this wasn't uncomfortable enough to watch. But yeah, I mean, this is going to be just a wild, wild revenge tale. And I can see where I think they're setting us up to be a little conflicted, because, on one hand, you're like, oh my God, you want to see this poor girl, at least make right, get revenge, whatever words you want to say, for the people who did that to her. But on the other end, is she going to go so far and so extreme that as the viewer, you're going to be like, whoa, hey, this is not what, this is not right. She did say an eye for an eye seems fair. But nonetheless, this is going to be some dark shit is all I can say. And this first episode, wow, what an opener. And again, just a lot of things that if they are indeed real and they do happen, it's completely insane. We saw, her dad there offered absolutely no help. He was a teacher or a principal at the school. I'm not sure which one. I didn't quite catch it, but he's a teacher or a principal there. Didn't want to hear it. Essentially an embarrassment to him. Slapping her around right in the office there in front of everybody, and nobody does anything. And then, her mom clearly out of the picture. She has to live on her own. Her mom was just happy to get a come up, to get a payday, and happily signed off on whatever it was, not even, thinking about her daughter. So yeah, this is going to be intense. And we saw all the pictures there, and there's a lot of people that are gonna get their comeuppance, and it's going to be some crazy revenge tour. So yeah, just insane, totally intense and insane.
I don't think that was her dad. That was just someone taking care of it, because she mentioned to him that your son is in education.
Okay. Yeah,
so that's when he said, "Don't you mention my son?" And then he started.
That's why I always kind of paraphrase with, I'm not going to catch everything on the subtitles. So again, if I do miss something, apologize.
Because then he ends up because he took the boy sitting across from her to take care of whatever he had in trouble. It was tough to watch some of that stuff, and we see that, obviously the one girl her mom must be insanely powerful. Obviously had a bunch of money just throw around. And like, we saw that even after she dropped out, they just picked up
somebody else.
I'm acting as her legal guardian. I'm her teacher.
Okay.
So he's just acting as her legal guardian, because like we saw the mom was just, out of the picture. She herself was talking to him like she didn't even have any sort of education herself either.
Yeah.
It's like she just got her that room and said, you live in that apartment and that's it. And I don't think she had a job at that point. She was just in school. So maybe her mom was like paying the little bit amount of money she could to pay that room, because like as soon as she got the money, they must then kick her out. So then kicked her out. So then she was left on her own. And, but it's where do you start with this one? But with the revenge factor that it's coming in, because there's all the times that she could have decided to not go through with it, or not go through with living in life. So she had the two chances that she stopped, and she said, "My dream is you," in the gymnasium. And we even saw that even after she dropped out, they picked another little helpless girl to torture, and they were going to check on her with a curling iron as well. So it seemed like it wasn't just her for some sort of main reason. It was an easy target, or just someone they knew they could pick on and nobody would care because they're quote unquote like poor or on the lower half. So they didn't care who it was. They were going to still torture him one way or another, and they knew they could get away with it. And that was very powerful when she said, "My dream is you," because we had a little glimpse into 2022, so where this is leading to. But when she said it there, it was powerful, because she was going to make it her own, destiny to take care of her, or to torture her the same way that she was tortured. And so I'm wondering, is she going to do everyone that was involved, like,
that's what all
get
those
the revenge on all of them?
Because
it looks like that. And and that's the thing, is we're sitting here, we might be rooting for her throughout this whole thing to take out those assholes, in our opinion. But
don't label all of us as R here.
I'm
still taking in some of this story because
but look, I'm captivated. It really sucked me in the first episode. There's some shows, it might take 2-3 episodes. There's some bangers that have been great for us that right away in the first episode you get sucked in. I am sucked in. I cannot wait for more.
So Dave is going through full transparency. We're looking at some comments from people on the show. Apparently, this is a very accurate, in some people's comments, toned down.
Yeah, sorry, folks. I couldn't wait. I had to see if some of this was
toned
real.
down version of what's happening in South Korea right now. And this is like... I'm sure some of it's, but it's been since
this
early
incident.
2000s.
Yeah.
These are still like actual things that happen, and apparently from a limited number of comments all saying the same thing, that these are based off of a handful of real events that happened. The bullying is incredibly severe there, and oftentimes because of hierarchies with power positions and money, nothing is done. And if I'm just being like very few visual things make me sick to my stomach anymore. It takes it's a weird thing seeing something and having a physical response. One of illness. Of course you can visualize something and the emotions can make you cry or laugh or whatever. But for me to watch something and have my stomach like physically, and this isn't like dramatizing, like to have my stomach like feel sick, like I'm literally gonna throw up. It takes a lot, and that's what I was getting just watching this show. And my initial reaction is like, wow, this is really bad. And like, there's like, you think in your head, like there's no fucking way. Right. Like, look, things aren't all sunshine and rainbows here in America, but if something like this were to happen and it gets out on social media, it'd be fucking over. And again, that's not to say bad things don't happen here. And I'm sure there's cases of bullying where you get the powerful parents or somebody's whatever, and they sweep it under the rug. But this level of severity, one social media post showing a child with a curling iron burn on their arm from a school incident, it would be handled drastically differently. And again, I'm not saying this because I'm not trying to put America on a pedestal or anything, or anything like that. It's just when you watch this, you think like, no fucking way. Like, is this fiction? And then like you go back to All of Us Are Dead, and they had some really, really disturbing bullying there. And then we go back to
bullying in SA. I mean,
bullying it's the whole thing. And then we go back to Alice in Borderlands, and some of the flashbacks are really severe bullying. And, and as we're going through this, this is going through my head. I'm like, they wouldn't keep putting like this level of bullying in these shows if it wasn't some sort of even loosely accurate depiction of things that are really happening. If we were watching a show here, made in the States or wherever, you'd be like, okay, that wouldn't happen. And again, there's teachers that sweep stuff under the rug. We have major bullying problems here in the United States, but to that level, my reaction would be like, well, this could never fucking happen, right? Not here. And so to see it is disturbing. And to be honest with you, for as disturbing as that is, I'm really sad about the ending of this episode. And the reason is you had a young woman who went through so much, and there's going to be permanent trauma that comes from something like that. Very, very permanent trauma. But she worked very hard to better herself, working her way through school, getting her GED, getting into college. And, there's this sense of like, you did it, pride for her when you're watching this. And then you see that last scene where, her going to the park with the daughter's it's pretty aggressive, because as bad as the mom was, and they made a point of the daughter, babe, my mommy's rich, my mommy has lots of money, but the child's still very, very innocent, and should be left out of it. And then you see her place she's living now. They showed the beginning with pictures on the wall, and now the windows are covered. And so you just think like her whole life is ruined by this. It's not like she was able to put it in the past. Look, there's a lot of people who have, terrible trauma that they battle through, and and work their way to having an incredible life. But it seems like her whole life is revenge in a very serious and very dark manner. I don't even know if it's fucking worth. We watch movies that deal with bullying and stuff like that, and I like to give my speech. Everything seems like fucking trivial here. Like, parents, fucking don't raise asshole kids. Don't be fucking asshole parents. And in this one, you can't even say, well, the parents stand up for your kids that are being bullied.
There are no
the
parents.
Fucking mom's not in the picture, and the guardian is fucking slapping her. And which is, by the way, that was arguably just as disgusting of a scene as the fucking, I don't even care about swearing at this point, as the curling irons. Because like, who's gonna step up and do something? And in every situation, look, it's easy for somebody, a crew of, larger gentlemen to be like, well, stand in and do something. Not everybody can, but at some point, you got fucking 20 people standing around. You could stop the guy from doing it, right? Somebody could fucking say something. And I know it's different cultures, and I'm not going to pretend to understand South Korean culture, but it's just as a spectator, this was a really fucked up episode. You're right, I wasn't ready for it. This is one where it's like, there's only been a few times on this channel where I've been like, yeah, maybe I just don't want to fucking watch this, you know? Like, maybe I don't want to watch this. And I got pretty close with it. I know it's fiction, but I don't know. Now I'm disturbed. As many of you know who watch this channel, we go right into reactions right after we're done. So there's no time to like take a breather, collect my thoughts. And right now my stomach is sick. I'm fucking mad. I'm grossed out. I don't even know what I am. And I'm sorry if I'm not talking about the show that much, but the content of it and learning it's real is fucked. I don't know. Maybe next episode I'll have something better to say, but right now I guess I'm just in shock. So Dave, you take it from here. This is fucked up.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to plead ignorance when it comes to Korea and surrounding countries for bullying and whatnot. You know, it's one thing when we are hearing it through the comments, you know, and some have been pretty consistent saying, yeah, you don't even know the half of it, right? Mm-hmm. So it's just like, wow, okay, maybe there is a lot of stuff going on. Then we get introduced to this first episode, which was very disturbing in multiple ways, which you all know. We just went through the ride too. Again, with some of the culture, I just don't know enough about it. Maybe I don't know. Maybe that's why some of the folks there, when dude was slapping her, maybe that's. I'm not even going to try to analyze that or even. I just don't know. Yeah. Well, ignorance on all fronts, because again, I live in tricky. I live in, you know, the world that I've lived in. Yeah, there was bullying. I was bullied. But it wasn't like anything like this.
The thing,
some of it was
the difference is that, okay, so like put yourself in a situation where like this girl's parents would be like the richest of the elite, whether it's Hollywood celebs or tech industry moguls or whatever, but they're all in the same school. In America, they're at separate schools. Bill and Melinda Gates' kids, for the most part, they're not going to the same public schools as like our kids.
So there's that.
So there's that separation, that hierarchical separation where there is that interaction isn't there. Everybody's on a relatively close.
Not all, but I get what you're saying with like the millionaire billionaires. That's a different story. But there are still some wealthy families that
kids go to public. Kids go to public schools. The one thing that I will say, just to jump in, and then I'll back out, is that, and just to kind of talk about what you're saying, not like an add-on on my own thing, is what it seems like you have. So in the United States, there's obviously very much a giant divides financially. And yes, there's people who have very large amounts of money, and people who are moderately wealthy who think that they're better than other people. And again, we have that, but it seems like. And again, this is just from the very limited knowledge that we have. It seems like the differences over there is that the class differences, in just as we have money, you're upper middle class, lower middle, and poor. It seems like there's a direct tie-in to your actual like value as a human
it's
being.
Almost like a caste system.
Like yes, it's like your value as a human being, and that's what's fucked up. Again, not saying things are by no means like perfect or whatever here in America, and we very much have the classes. That's they're even ultra rich, high, middle, fucking whatever. But there's not that direct like you don't have money, you're lower middle class, so you're just a lower value
human
being, and it's like that's what it almost looks like there. To me, it's reminiscent of like Middle Ages, like I'm a noble and you're a peasant, where it's like it's not just a class difference. There's a value that's placed upon your life difference, and that's hard for me to wrap my head around.
I understand.
Does that make sense? Like,
I
if you have money,
understand.
your life is like worth more. It's not just like, hey, we have fancier shit, nicer clothes. It's like your life is actually worth more. And somebody who doesn't have money just isn't somebody who's in a bad financial situation. Your life is actually fucking worth. Not going to say worthless as a term, but it's a less valued fucking presence on this earth because of your financial situation.
Yeah, to some, right? But again, I'll plead ignorance on some of this stuff again because some of the culture I do not know. Some of the bullying I'm not even close to being aware of apparently because this was based on some real events. So I had to look that stuff up. But to the actual episode and what we were given here in the episode, blown away by how dark the setup was for the first episode. Well done for at least someone like me. Again, I always give praise to pushing the limits on TV because I know some folks can, too much for me on whatever the case may be. We don't have to go into specifics, but sometimes folks are like, nope, I'm done right there. That was it. I draw the line. Yep. To me, I'm always into seeing how far sometimes the lines can be pushed. And man, I was getting pretty uncomfortable on some of that stuff. Seeing it once was like, okay. But then they kept doing it again. And then we were getting some essay a little bit on top of that. I'm like, wow, where's the, not for the TV show, but if this wasn't happening in real life, where's the goddamn line for some of these students to just, oh, okay, whatever, another day.
But if you see somebody as,
I mean, that was straight up brutal torture.
But that's what I'm saying with that's what I'm saying. Like if you see somebody as like, you're not as wealthy as we are, you don't have the nice clothes or the cars or one thing. I think there's less just you don't.
To them, it's like stepping on an ant.
That's what I'm saying. It's like your life is the value of your life is you're a fucking
it's a lesser value.
You're a rodent. You're not even, and then it becomes easier. Well, you're worthless. Well, I'm not doing essay and violence to another human being. It's like, look, I don't even fucking grosses me out when people do that to animals. So I don't even want to say, whatever. But it's so fucking disgusting, and it's hard to it's really hard to wrap your head around. And again, not being like, oh, we're the heroes here in America, but dude, if shit like
zero ranking,
if shit like that fucking made social media and here, fucking
yeah, I mean, our elites just buy their way into colleges. And that's about as bad as it gets. That's all we hear.
I mean, look, that's
well, and then kind of back to the ending here, like. I was giving her praise for pushing through and everything like that because it's truly amazing. She was considering opting out 1-2 times in the story. She pushed through. Bravo for her to take that on and just get her education, get to where she needs to go. But then, man, I know what we got in the beginning, right? They were showing the pictures and everything that the chick walked in, staple gun, threatening some lives there. But then we get the nice not nice, but we get the backstory. And leading up until the end where she's with her daughter saying those things. Right now, the way I took it, and I'm leaving a lot of room for error on my reading here, but I went back and watched that 3 times. She made it sound like, I'm going to do this to your daughter.
That's what I thought, too, and I wasn't sure if I was misreading the subtitles
and that's sad.
But
that's fucked up.
So that's where like, oh, I'm halting the line here now because we are not getting your typical revenge story here. We're getting some kind of really jacked up, fucked up revenge if she actually goes after her daughter.
Well, because when she was talking to her in the gym, she said, like, what do you want to do? Essentially, I want to be a wife and have a couple of kids.
Yep.
And so she was going to take it out on her kids. That's the way I took it.
So I didn't take it that way in the gym because she said, I'm
you.
You.
My dream is you.
My dream is you. But then, again, fast forward to that spot where she said that to the daughter. I'm hoping that's just a thought that's going in her head, and we don't actually see that happen. Obviously, you do, so don't spoil, please. But what I'm kind of holding on the hope that it's not going to happen to her daughter is because the dialogue that she had when they were showing the pictures of everybody else, and she was sitting there too.
Yeah,
I'm not even going to try to predict, but my hope is that she's not going to do that to the daughter.
Maybe her dream is to take out her and then be that mom and be her. That's why her dream.
I don't know. I'm not even going to try to predict. I'm just going to try to take the story and just kind of give my.
Well, and that's the hard thing that's the hard thing with a show like this, because typically when you see bullies depicted in movies, they're kind of like idiot, loser, morons, whatever, and it's like if you just do what she did, get through high school, get through college, achieve on your own, 99 times out of 100, you can't punish that bully more than life is going to punish them, because typically when you get out of high school into the real world, you can't behave like that. Society just doesn't allow it. So odds are they're going to end up punishing themselves way more than there's anything you could do. I mean, what could you do? Go up with a bat, break their legs. Okay, that's done. And then they heal. But if they're bullies and they act that way, then they're going to have a life of misery and society not allowing. But when they're rich, they're well-to-do, protected, then it's a whole different story. Then it's like, okay, society's not going to punish them. That's why she feels she has to do this, but it's going to be a wild friggin' ride.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what the next 15 episodes are. I know I was talking like there's a season, but this is a singular 16 episode run. We got 15 to go.
I can't believe there's going to be 15 episodes. Like, I feel like we're so far into it already. Like, what's left to happen?
I mean, unless it's like
it's going to go after the other individuals.
It's just, it's weird. And obviously, look, arguably one of the best revenge movies, and I say revenge in a movie that people pretty much universally enjoy is John Wick, right? And
that's what I'm saying.
But you cheer for him the whole time. And you feel like everybody who gets it has it coming. Yeah. And in this, it's like, okay, you in a sense, revenge delayed that long for something like this. It just feels like it's almost more like, if she took revenge right away, like I was waiting to grab the curling iron and in somebody's mouth or something. But when she's worked as hard as she has to put herself in a good spot, it's like to go back and get revenge. Like, like Answer was saying, like, you are my life. It's like, hey, just go out there, be successful yourself. And I will say this because it's, look, I know we're going long here, but this show is just full of important subject matter. And I wanted to mirror what you said. If there are younger people out here watching this, Mason Quinn's 100% right. If you're going through some shit right now, in grade school or high school, fucking stand up for yourself, tell people. And again, I know it's different in Korea, so I don't want this message to seem trivial to people in countries where they're like, well, thanks, guy in America, but you don't fucking know how it is here. But at least here, stand up for yourself, talk to teachers. If one teacher doesn't do shit, talk to another, go to the police, use a phone if you have to document as much as you can, pictures of injuries, and do something about it. That all being said, and by no means am I saying just buckle up your boots and deal with it. But when high school is done, yes, I'm sure that there's definitely assholes in college and stuff like that. But you get out into the real world as an adult, this just shit. Look, there's adults that are assholes everywhere. We all deal with them every fucking day. Sadly, from the Walmart parking lot to
your neighbors,
fucking your neighbors, to getting off on an airplane. I had to deal with assholes on my last flight who, whatever. But the bullying that you go through in high school, again, do the things that you can do to get it to stop. But just know, like, that shit does end when you get out in the real world. And look, in 99, I'm going to say 99, a lot of the time, the world has, I'm not a universe, energy, karma type person, but the world has its own way of having this shit come back around. So a lot of times you can just fucking sit back and watch the universe do its thing to people who are bullies. And again, I don't want to get preachy on this because it feels like the wrong time to be like, oh, we don't bully this. But yeah, this shit, once you're out of school, this stuff, it doesn't happen like this.
So real quick, to kind of go back, and you weren't saying the opposite, but the thing that we need to keep in mind, even though we didn't experience it, she went through a ton of trauma. Yeah. She's gone through a lot from all angles of life here. I think she's had one friend, and it was the friend here that, I'll just say, a respectful person to her, at least.
Right.
Where, because I don't know if it was a friend.
Conversation.
It didn't really seem like a friend, but it's somebody that respected her. Yeah, not a friend, though.
So taking all that, plus it seems like she, from that moment where she was like, you dedicated 100% of some type of revenge, knowing, hey, I need to do this, and this first before I can start even thinking about what I'm going to do here. So I'm just saying it's easy for us to say not, and again, not that you were. No. It's easy for us to say, focus on that, stay on that trail. But man, I have no idea what that mindset is, but they're showing us that the mindset has always been right here, but I got to do these things to get to you,
You know,
and the 6 other people.
And as you're talking through this, and I'm glad you brought that up, because as you're talking through this, like, it's kind of brewing in my head. Maybe it's not a simple John Wick, because we could have had that already, right?
Yeah.
If that was, she knows she works at a news station, so we see that already.
She's being very calculated.
So it's very calculated. So whatever her type of revenge is, you know, and look, revenge looks different. We watched something recently where, you know, somebody just wanted somebody's reputation ruined. Like that was the revenge, a ruined reputation. Like it wasn't like violence, it wasn't whatever. It's just a ruined reputation, and clearly what we're getting here, and I'm glad you brought that talking point up, because I wasn't thinking about that. This isn't just a case of like, I'm going to wait outside your work and, you know, whatever,
it's not that simple.
pop, and there's my revenge. So now I'm really curious as to what that revenge is actually going to look like, because you're right. If she went through school with all that in mind, and now, like just now, 30 minutes into our reaction, I'm thinking, okay, wait a minute, this is going to be so much more calculated.
Yeah,
than
that's
I
why I was
previously
just going to
thought.
wait to watch the show before I dove into that stuff.
Well, and remember 2006
Look,
is when this
I
was
get it,
happening.
I get it.
Yeah.
And we started the show off at summer of 2022.
Yeah.
So this has been a very step-by-step, and now that she must be in that position now
16
to go.
years.
Yeah.
That's a lot
Well,
of plotting.
and it's not just a simple, and again, I'll make this incredibly quick, like 5 seconds here. It's not just she's just going to take her out incredibly quick. If you remember in Furiosa, what did Hemsworth tell Furiosa at the end? Yeah, okay, you can go ahead and kill me. You're still going to hurt, and I'll be gone. So Furiosa did something that would take forever to happen. That's kind of the route I think she's going.
Yeah, and this isn't your, from what I'm understanding, your normal, awesome John Wick revenge story.
No.
This is a fucked up revenge story, and I can't
Why
wait.
they
to
wanted
see,
us to see it.
I can't wait to see what the next 15 episodes.
Well,
What a run.
Well, there you go. That was the first episode and the first discussion of it.
Impact of the first episode.
Hopefully you guys are intrigued by this series as we are so far. Appleton, Oak, Diamond Dave, that's Mason Quinn. I'm, of course, Answer. We'll catch you on the next one, pals.